Hello and welcome to our weekly update and feeding of the Hungry Bin and the Urban Worm Bag. I already opened the lid up and got all the little crawlers back down so that we can start doing our little walk see-through here and feed them up. The bin smells fine. There are no noxious odors. And it looks like they managed to get through the feeding. And what's left is bedding material, which is good. There should always be a lot more bedding material than kitchen scraps. But they're at the top right now. And I was wondering if I was to dig through this thing, how far down are the worms really? Because I do want them to migrate up. But you're not really supposed to dig in these systems. It's more of a curiosity for me than anything else. Because when I used to do my harvesting last year of the Hungry Bin, I would always find worms, a lot of worms actually, in the finished material at the bottom, and there weren't supposed to be any. Since I filled up, originally when I set it up, I filled up the bin with compost, Star-Bought compost. That filled it up pretty high, and so I figured, you know, the worms were supposed to stay at the top where I was feeding, but no, there were always worms at the bottom. Okay, so this one looks good, nothing exciting. I'm going to give them dry bedding because this particular system gets very moist. So drying out is absolutely not an issue. And right on top, they're going to get a nice large feeding. This is a little over 2 pounds worth of food. Stinky, if I may say so myself. Got my eggshells. And now, don't breathe the dust in. Top it off with a little bit of the moist bedding. And this batch of moist bedding, I did put some leaves in. If you are going to put leaves in your bin, at least make sure that you're not bringing any kind of critters from the outside. I microwave mine. I know it's silly, but just a little precaution. Okay. They should be happy with these. And we are going to move on to our urban worm bag. Okay, and we're back with the urban worm bag. I had to reposition my lighting, so I opened it up. A little bit of condensation on the lid, which is absolutely normal. I've come to expect it since I'm giving the bag a larger feeding. But there are no climbers. They're happy just being here where the food is or was. And I think they did a pretty good job with the feeding as well. Everything here feels really nice, and you can see how dark the material is at the bottom there. Nicely worked over. Yeah, aside from the bedding, again, there is no food. This is all egg cartons and maybe skins, like skins of potatoes, but I'm not seeing any food, any kitchen scraps. I keep saying food because bedding is also food. It's just the carbon source. So when I'm saying that there is no food left, I am referring to kitchen scraps. There's plenty of bedding for them to work on. Yeah. Okay, so the kitchen scraps are gone, and that was over 3 pounds. So you can see how well these guys handle a feeding like that. That's why I don't worry about feeding this system a larger quantity of food. I know they can handle it. I know the system can handle it. And because it also retains its moisture so well, I give it dry bedding, just like the Hungry Bin. Okay, so that's the dry part. And of course, this is a bigger bag of food. This is well over 4 pounds, which of course I am not going to give them, but I am going to give them more than 2 pounds. There you go, guys. That should be plenty. All kinds of things here, both cut up and whole. And we're going to give them the eggshells as well. And now we're going to cover it up with moist bedding. Well, not completely cover it up, just add some moist bedding to it, to the whole mix, just more carbon. Just more carbon for them to keep the bin healthy. Now this bin is getting, system is getting fairly full, so I'm thinking I'm going to do a light harvest And I got me this, I think I showed it before. I got this tool. This is a tiller's fork, I think, to help me with the bottom so I don't do it with my bare hands. I'll be able to reach in better. And I'm going to see what kind of harvest I get. Plus, I think it's just time. Okay, we're done here. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week.